Hey guys, so I thought today I would do a what's in my camera bag video. I did do a video on this already, however I filmed it on a really crappy little camera and the quality was so bad, so I did actually upload it to YouTube, so for those of you who saw that, just forget that ever happened. It was just really bad quality and I thought in the end, no, I want to do one where you can actually hear what I'm saying in the video. That always helps. So I'm just going to show you guys what I have in my camera bag at the moment and what I use, the equipment that I use on my shoots. So, this is my camera bag. It's pretty old, a little bit beaten and bruised, but it still holds all my gear, which is surprising since it's so small, but it's easy to carry around and that's what I like most about it, especially because most of my work is done outdoors and not in the studio, so I do have to carry around my gear a lot. So I'm going to start off with my camera. So I'll just put my lenses to the side. This is my camera. It is the Canon 5D Mark II and it is honestly the best camera I've ever had. I've only had a couple of SLRs before, but this one is by far the best. It's a great camera. I use this all the time, so that's the camera body that I have. It does have a lens attached to it, and this one is the 24-70 Mark I. So I didn't actually get the 24-70 with image stabilization. I bought this secondhand and I got it cheaper in the end because I didn't really want the image stabilization. It's not that heavy of a lens, and so when they started discontinuing these and selling these, I got one as soon as I could because I didn't want to have to pay like an extra $1,000 for image stabilization and for the newer model. So, and this one works perfectly. So the 24-70 is my all-round lens. It's what I use a lot. It's not my favourite lens because my favourite lens is another one that I will show you in a second. However, this is honestly such a great lens and I use it a lot. So it is an L series lens from Canon. I'll just put that to the side for the moment. And this is my favourite lens. This is the 85mm f1.2, and oh, and I forgot to say that this 24-70 is f2.8, so I like to shoot at wide apertures and that's why I ended up getting the 2.8 instead of, I think, the f4, I'm pretty sure. So this is my favourite though, the f1.2 L series lens, and I use this a lot in my fashion photography work, and I've had it for roughly about 4 years or so, I think since 2011, early 2011. But yeah, it is a very heavy lens, so I thought I would have more muscles in my arms by now, but apparently not, so it does get very heavy after carrying it around all day, and the glass, there is so much glass in this lens, it's, yeah, very heavy, but it's a beautiful lens, and the bokeh that it creates is so lovely, and the blur, and it's my favourite. And if you've noticed as well, my lens caps are missing because I always lose them. I don't know how, but I always manage to lose them. And I should really get some new ones because there is dust all over these and it's pretty bad. So, and the other lens that I have that's not the greatest lens that you can get on the market, but it's pretty good for the price. I mean, it's only worth about 100 or 150, I think I've seen it for on eBay. But it's the 50mm f1.8. and it's a plastic lens, so it's, like I said, it's not the greatest quality, but I haven't had a chance really to be able to upgrade to the f1.2, the 50mm from Canon, which I will hopefully do one day when I have the money, but I've had this pretty much since I started photography, and I'm pretty sure it came with my 400D as like a bonus lens, and it's really done pretty good things for me. Like I've really appreciated having this lens, I think, because it's such a light lens as well, so when you're doing weddings and events and that, this is like really good to carry around because it's just so light, and I have done it several times and it's kind of nice to be able to have something that's light like that. So yeah, that's my other lens that I like to use, and it's pretty good for the price. The other thing that I have in my camera bag is my flash, and it's the Canon 430EX2 speedlight, and it's not something that I use very often. I hardly ever use flash. The only time I use it is for events like weddings, engagements, that sort of thing, and yeah, I'm just not really a fan of flash in my work. It's just not something that I use much. Even like in the studio and that sort of thing, it's really just not something that I would use, and yeah, so I can't really even give you like a detailed review on this because I really haven't used it that much over the years, and I only bought it for the sake of doing events and that sort of thing, and for things that I actually need it for. But I would say I probably never used this really in my fashion work at all. I've probably used it maybe once or twice. So, and that was for like a night shoot, and it kind of just had that look, I guess, of having a flash in the shot. But yeah, that's pretty much it. The only other things that I have in my camera bag are some memory cards. So I've got two 16 gig CF cards, and I've got an 8 gig CF card. And this pretty much goes back to when I was at TAFE, and my teachers told us that it was best to shoot on several memory cards instead of like one 32 gig or one 64 gig card. Only because if one of those corrupts and you've got your entire shoot on one card, it makes it very difficult if you'd like to reshoot afterwards. At least if you've shot on several memory cards and one goes down, you've still got part of the shoot there, so you don't have to reshoot the whole thing. And I mean, you don't have to shoot that way, but it's just, I don't know, a way that I've liked to shoot, I suppose, over the last few years. That's just what I've done. And the only other thing I've got is a few batteries and a cleaning cloth. So I don't really have much in my kit. I've also got like a tripod, which is currently helping me film this right now. I will probably do a more detailed video on other, pieces of equipment that I use for editing and that sort of thing, like my graphics tablet and etc. But hopefully that will come soon. Alright guys, so thanks very much for watching. I hope this video answered any questions that you had about what I had in my kit. And if you do have any more questions, feel free to let me know. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.